morning.
Good morning, General. How you doing today?
Oh, pretty good. How are
I'm
you?
fantastic and gosh darn excited, as it turns out, about our newest endeavor. What do you think about all this?
Well, I have really been reading the rules, going over them and over them. And I'm a little intimidated. There's a lot here, a lot of new things for me, but I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I just want to say I'm glad, first of all, that somebody's looking over all the rules. So that is your
Oh,
responsibility. But
oh, we're
no,
in trouble.
no, we're gonna be fine. I just like you, a little daunted, but this is not our first rodeo. And I think we're going to be fine. We'll just take it by the numbers. First of all, I want to welcome everybody out there and anyone who is of a fan of the channel, or even if this is your first time to the channel and you said, "Oh, what's this? The Overland campaign? That seems interesting." Well, welcome aboard. This is the beginning of what we expect to be the phrase that popped into my head, wild and woolly, because it's historically was that way. But this is the opportunity for us to play the advanced campaign game from Great Campaigns of the American Civil War in wonderful timing because of the release of On to Richmond 2 and this, Grant Takes Command 2, the sub game within it. This has provided us with the opportunity to now. We've finished all the basic scenarios, so go back and watch those. They're all on the playlist. But we're going to go week by week and we're going to play through sessions of the advanced game. This is scenario number 9 called, as you would expect, the Overland campaign. Battlecat has arrived and she says hello. For this first playthrough, I'm going to be taking the Union. Roger will be taking the Confederates. And I've got things kind of pre-set up here. We've got a little bit of pre-game work to do. For the tutorial portion of the name of this channel, what Roger and I are endeavoring to do with this is we are literally going to, as we go through and we encounter things, we're going to explain them to you. We will pull up rules as necessary, and that's the wonderful thing about editing, because if we goof, well, hopefully you'll never know. But if we really goof, well, then you'll see it. And that is where the audience participation part comes in. You get to comment down there in the comment section. We adore your feedback, and constructive criticism is encouraged. So if you find that we did something wrong, that is your opportunity to point that out for us, and we will certainly make mention of it and correct it, because each week in the format that we use at the beginning of each session, we'll kind of review anything that we missed or overlooked or goofed, and we will attempt to make any corrections as needed. But also, we get the opportunity to reintroduce ourselves. I'm Patrick. Hello, this is my channel, and we've done this. Roger and I have been playing now for over 3 years. We've worked our way through several of the titles, and they're all here on the list, organized by playlist, so I invite you to go back and watch those. Yeah, I'll give you the back of the envelope. The gaming over 40 years, wargaming for about almost 20. Love the American Civil War. Tried to do as much reading as time will allow, but gaming, the Great Campaign system, is one of my passions. It was one of the reasons for building the channel with the original tutorials that I did, and I'm using it as the opportunity to invite new players out there to learn a little bit about the system, to join us, and I'm sure you will grow to love it as much as we have. That's me in a nutshell, Roger. I heard that sip of coffee. Why don't you tell them a little about you?
I'll do the nutshell version as well. Not nearly as much gaming experience as Patrick. I picked up years ago the Roads to Gettysburg game on vacation and fell in love with the system. My wife, a couple years later, gave me the original Stonewall Jackson's Way, and those are my two games for quite a while. I kind of got out of it, got back in through Patrick's tutorials that he posted on how to play the game. I'm a Civil War history person, so I was probably watching a documentary on YouTube and popped up on the playlist. Oh, let me play that. I've got that game, and put me back in, and just circumstances aligned where I reached out to you, Patrick, to teach me how to use Vassal, and you said sure. And as you said, 3 years later, played through, gosh, Hood Strikes North, Here Come the Rebels, Stonewall Jackson's Way. On the Richmond, we did that as part of it, and we got playtesting credit, which is great. So yeah, this has just been a fantastic ride for me, and I appreciate people pointing out and making comments about my gameplay. I think I've gotten a little better. I hope. But yeah, this is going to be fun for people who are just looking at the series. Hood Strikes North was our first campaign, and that was a great introduction because it was really just some advanced rules. And we did Here Come the Rebels, which I think was a good second campaign for us to do for me. And now we're, I think, dipping the toes in a little deeper with this campaign. I'm excited. This is going to be fun. I'm probably going to get beaten like a drum because there's just so many things to keep track of in this advanced game. I just feel a little overwhelmed at the moment, but I'll be fine.
You are correct. As far as if you were to put all of these on a graph, I would say Hood Strikes North is sort of the shallow end of the pool, and it is wonderful because it is very straightforward. I think it was 32 turns, but it's just here's A, here's B, being Nashville, and go. That was it. There was not a lot to it.
Yeah, true.
I think we made the Here Come the Rebels one just a little more complex because we were taking the opportunity to explore the limited intelligence rules, which is a lot of fun. I'm not wanting to do that on this one just because of the overall complexity. So I think you and I both kind of just said, we'll just play this one straight. But this one is certainly, I would say, right in the middle of the advanced game. So as you watch this one and you see all of the, not only the technical aspects of it with all of the chrome that's been added, and you'll see us going to many sub-phases and charts and graphs and things like that and off-board maps. This is considered probably the middle ground. I would say on that graph, this is somewhere in between. Beyond this is the full On to Richmond campaign, and even more so, the Atlanta Is Ours. Those are at the top end of that, or the deep end of the pool, depending on what your simile is. Those are the ones that have the most complexity just because there's so much going on. This one is kind of right in the middle. It's, hey, Grant's in the upper left of the map, and ultimately, the Union wants to get to the lower right of the map, and that simulates the Overland campaign and the priorities that Grant set out in the summer of 1864. So for me, that's great because I am more or less a blunt hammer, and I will just go, go, go. That's what I do. So nuance is right out the window for me. Every now and again, I catch Roger unaware, but for the most part, you can kind of see what I'm doing. I telegraph those kicks pretty high. Let's see, gosh, so much to do on this one. Let's take it in steps. First, we're going to just talk about the whole of the Overland campaign and what our format is going to be week to week here, how this is going to work. And for the most part, this is going to be a talkie session 0. And we apologize for that, but we are going to set it up so that we do a couple hours every week. So I think we will see how long it's going to take us. If it takes us all summer, that is quite a possibility. But this is, once again, Scenario 9, the Overland Campaign. We are using the whole of the map. This is on paper 40 turns, but it does not necessarily go the full 40 turns, as we'll explain later. This is starting at May 4th, right here, where we are, all the way up to potentially June 12th. Roger's going to have some pre-game setup here. He's got some depots that he will have to put out here momentarily, and that will probably influence my decision because we'll talk about the victory points associated with those. Special rules on this one, we are going to have random events, which are considerable. There's some rain and there's some off-board effects and command changes. We will review those as we come up, but if you've got your copy of this, your physical copy, if you want to just go through and read what those different ones are, you can certainly be aware of some of the things that will potentially come up. I have pontoon bridge already built here up at Kelly's Ford, right there, and that was prescribed per the scenario. And on turn 1, I, as the Union player, will get to move 6 times. This is harkening back. You're going to notice that this Overland campaign is really just a mishmash of all the individual scenarios run together. So you're going to see elements of this that are very familiar if you've watched any of the previous basic scenarios. I will get the first 6 consecutive initiatives, so I don't need to roll any dice. With that, I have to activate the leaders, so that gives me the chance to move the individual corps. It's completely optional. I don't have to move all 6 if I don't wish to, but that's all I get to do is the leader activation. When I have finished that, whether I choose to move all 6 or not, then that is the end of the free stuff, and we go on to the normal initiative rolls. Movement restriction on this one, we've got some that are locked. Hampton and the cavalry down in the southeast We've seen those before. They're locked near bridges until turn 4. I have, just like in previous sessions, I have some reinforcements, being the Ninth Corps and good old Burnside, that I can choose to bring on during turn 1. They will arrive at some fatigue because of that early arrival, and they will get to come into the map somewhere up here on the north end, all the way up to, I believe, Kellyville. So that's my choice. I can forego them. If I wait into subsequent turns, they will come in free of fatigue, which is always nice too. Let's see what else we got here. And then the special pontoon bridge. This is also from Grant Crosses the Rapidan. At the end of turn 1, during the recovery phase, I get 2 free pontoon boats that I can place. The requirements being that they have to be on one of the minor rivers here, either Mountain Run or the Rapidan. I have to be adjacent, obviously, because that's where the engineering corps want to be, adjacent to those rivers, and that could be either a cavalry or an infantry unit. Either one of those is fine. And it must be free and clear of any Confederate opposition on the other side of the bridge. So some of those areas and those fords are precluded right now from that. But I just get to take 2 of them. I don't have to roll for anything. I just plop them on the map, and they are good to go. Now, as you would expect with any campaign game, the victory conditions. They are numerous, but what's great about this vassal module, Alberto has set up for us here. He's got the little flag here for the victory point schedule. Most of this is based on county control. That is true of the majority of these advanced campaign games. You want to get to the county seat, you want to hold that county. That gives you logistical and strategic capabilities that you did not have previously. In this case, we've got points associated with, we see Louisa and Caroline and Hanover, New Kent, Henrico, and Goochland. If I get into that county seat during a victory point turn, for every turn that I hold those, for every 4 turns, we will have a strategic cycle, and we will be checking for many things like supply and county control and off-board map progress, command ability, etc. We'll also have a victory point location check, and I will get points for each of those counties that I controlled during that time, during that checklist. So for every 4 turns, I want to make sure that I have control of a county seat, which is actually a little more lenient for the Union in this game. It's you only have to have a manpower of 1 in the county seat to control it, and you only have to have a total of 2 manpower somewhere in the county. That's pretty nice. I remember in earlier games you need like 13 total manpower, so that's
Yeah.
I was very when I read that I went, is that a typo? That can't be right. But half of it could be in the county seat, and then you could have 1 other manpower somewhere else in the county. So there's a victory point schedule, and you can see on the map here that for each one of those phases, Hanover is quite lucrative. Henrico, if you can actually get into Richmond City and control the county seat of Henrico County, well, that's 25 points. Now, some games that would be an auto victory, but clearly it's not in this. So you can get there, you can control Henrico County, and you can earn 25 points every 4 turns if you can hold on to it. So that's kind of nice. There are also in the Bermuda 100 and in the Valley campaigns, we could see that some of these areas, the white boxes, are victory point locations also. So if the Union controls those during a victory point check, those will be additional points. So there's a lot of stuff. Also in the victory point, this one is very heavily driven toward destroying depots and preventing your Union depots from being destroyed. So on the right hand side of this window, I can see that for every Confederate depot that the Union destroys, there's 2 states of being for a depot. It's being either built or dismantled or completed. So the Union can get 15 points for destroying a completed one, or 10 points if it's, in progress. And likewise, they can lose points. So if they're caught unaware and they lose a Union completed depot, that is minus 30 victory points. So I have to be very, very cautious. Now, luckily, I can only have 2 of them on at the map at the same time, so that's not a problem. Otherwise, the manpower elimination is, as we've seen for the entirety of the game, it's plus 3 victory points for each Confederate manpower loss, and minus 2 for any Union. At the end of the game, in the little circles here for the proximity to Richmond, they get 10 points, 10 victory points for each Union division that's in Richmond City, so those gray city urban areas. Otherwise, it's 5 points for division within 5 hexes of Richmond and 2 points for each within 10. So there's a nice little radius around there. So I am compelled as Grant to just move as quickly as I can to the southeast, inflicting some damage on supply on the Confederate side. But more than anything, before the end of the game, I want to be as close to Richmond as possible. That is not unlike what the Confederates are trying to do, and here come the rebels trying to get into Washington or Baltimore. And it's exactly the same as what the Confederates are trying to do in Nashville in Hood Strike North. So the threshold for a Union marginal victory on this one is 120 victory points in up to 40 turns. That is a tall order, but possible, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think there's so many ways and this is where I'm going to get caught unawares, I think, for the Union to gather points, and especially the off-map the two theaters, something of a mystery box for me. I've read and reread that section several times, and I just look at I look at Butler's army there and go, how am I going to stop that? There must be something in the rules that make him hard to move. I hope, because that's a huge force there on that off-map theater. But yeah, supply has. I've read a lot of the supply rules trying to grasp, and I've got to make a decision right off the box where I'm going to put a couple of supply units, and I'll go through why I'm doing what I'm doing, and people can certainly say, "Well, that wasn't very smart." But we'll see. Yeah, I've got, and you don't have wagons. I don't believe in this. Do you have
I
wagons?
do not have wagons. Somebody had pointed that out. Why do you have them in one of the basics, but not in this? So the supply is a little more abstracted in this one.
Yeah, that's too bad because I really wanted to burn some wagons.
Of course you did. The smell of burning coffee and chicory is wafting for miles.
That was so important in Hood Strikes North for the Union player to protect his wagon train. I think it's going to be very doable. I'm sure you're going to catch me unawares of a victory point grab somewhere because there's so many spots that you can get them, and hopefully I will not lose. I think the only way I can lose points. Well, I can if I destroy a depot. I was just looking at that. I need to look that rule up. If I voluntarily destroy a depot, you get 5 points.
Okay, so that's the lowest tier of that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, there are two ways to get rid of a depot. You can put torches to it yourself, or you can, hey, we're going to dismantle this, put it on wagons or something, and take it somewhere else and rebuild it. So, yeah, so there are really three main driving
Ooh,
forces for the Union in this one: get to county control, as you would expect, get close to threatening Richmond, and in impacting the Army of Northern Virginia either by supply or by manpower losses. So, any and all of those bills of fare are exactly what Grant's attempting to do in this, and I think that's a pretty good simulation for this period in the war.
yes.
It's territory and pain. The format of this every week is Roger and I are going to record for a couple of hours, and we're going to, and that way that gives me a good amount of time that I can edit down to about a usable hour. That will preclude you from seeing all of our ums and uhs and thinking time, but it also, if we have to stop for a second and look up a rule just to make sure that we're getting it correct to ourselves and to you, that way, that's, like I said, the tutorial part of this. We want to make sure that we are sharing when we make, hey, I want to do this. I've never done that before. How does that work? We can go through, make sure we're doing it right, and then you will see the process for it. And we are very much going to be driven by the actual advanced game sequence of play. I'm literally going to call out, okay, now we're doing random events. Now we're doing leader transfer. Now we're doing this. So we're going to let that guide us exactly as if Roger and I were standing across the table from each other. And that will slow the game down quite a bit, but hopefully that will still be pretty smooth for you. And that's exactly why I do the editing on the videos. So more than anything, Roger and I just need to have patience and think about what we're doing and try to think about 4 turns ahead when it may or may not be raining and
Right.
all that good stuff. But like I said, I'm pretty I'm pretty blunt in this game. It's like I don't care, just go, and that usually bites me oftentimes as well. But I think we're ready to go. It's time for Roger now to pick these wonderful places that get to have supply source locations. They must be on a railroad that connects back to Richmond. So, what would you say about all that?
See, I've got 3 depots. One of 3 must be placed in a Richmond city hex. So it just says a city hex. So I'm going to drop a depot right there in the middle of town.
Well, yes, and that is the county seat, so that makes sense.
The other 2, I started looking at this. I bought the map up on, and really the game up on Friday, and I spent a couple hours. Okay, this is a simple decision. I got 2 depots. Where do they go?
Simple, he says.
I
That's
think
just hanging a
I'm going to drop.
bullseye on a tree and saying, "Come get me, Grant," right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to choose Bumpus Turnout for another depot. And there's a lot of rules about where the depot needs to be, in what county, and what supplies. And there's a great player aid in the FASA module. It's the little supply map that shows where a depot can be and what counties it supplies. And I'm choosing Bumpus Turnout because it's in Louisa County, which means it also supplies Spotsylvania and Orange County.
Yep, I love that.
Um, I didn't want to push it too, why not put it at Orange Courthouse or Gordonsville, where all the Confederate troops are? Because I don't think those troops are going to stay there very long. So I wanted some distance between the depot and you. And I thought clear terrain, if I can get a unit up there. And I also have to choose where I want my 3 units at Hanover Junction. And I'm going to put my last depot at Ashland in the same basic concept. I want some distance between you and Hanover gives me Caroline County, King Williams County. So hopefully I've got some depot supply that I can pull from at the supply segment.
That's great. Yeah, that's exactly what I would have done too, because you've got a really, I love seeing those arrows with the adjacency. Obviously, the only one that doesn't is Spotsylvania because it's more or less contested, or they just didn't expect Hanover to be helping out with that one. But otherwise, yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Okay, I'm going to move. I've got these 3 units at Hanover I can place within 12 hexes of Hanover Junction.
Okay.
And I'm going to move and they stay as their fort. So I'm going to move the 1st Maryland, put him in that redoubt. So he's a fort, so the fort's going to override the redoubt. But that covers the ford, it covers the bridges, and I'm going to move Johnson up to Beaver Dam Station. So that's my pregame setup.
Okay. I think we're ready to go. Gosh,
I think so.
we have spent 30 minutes getting us underway, so that is our turn 0 stuff. And we'll see if we can get through. It would be ideal if we could get through 4 turns every week in that 2-hour period. Then we could kind of just end on a strategic cycle. But I'm not going to pressure ourselves. We're just going to take it as it comes. We've got plenty of time. So officially, then, let me wish you the best of luck, sir.
Good luck to you as well.
Thank you. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just point me in the right direction. Okay, so we're going to take this by our sequence of things, and we have no random events in turn 1, so that's fine. I am going to forego any leader transfers for turn 1. Would you like to do any?
Oh gosh, I didn't even think about leader transfers. I'll move Longstreet down to Kershaw. And that's going to be it for me.
Then it is now time for me to do my 6 free initiatives. Make sure that I'm covering everything. Let's start our cavalry moving. So, as I recall, I got Sheridan, Wilson, Torbert,
And
that's
Torbert, I
3.
believe.
And then I can move Sedgwick, Hancock, and Warren. That's the total of the 6. Okay. So I will start with Sheridan, and we'll get them moving. We'll activate the Greg boys in the 2nd Cavalry. Here is their movement now of +2. So they can go up to 9. They will move as a unit. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 to Wilderness Tavern. Next, I will move the third corps with Macintosh. They will get a movement of +1. They can go 9. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to there. Torbert move all of his. And their movement +1, 8. He's going to transfer to Merritt. And they'll go right down the railroad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There. Custer will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to there. And Devon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 to there. Let's see. I guess I will move Hancock in the second corps. I'll go fatigue 1. Here's their movement +1. Ooh, spicy. Alright, so Hancock will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Mott will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Gibbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And Bernie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sadly, trailing behind. Now it's time for Sedgwick. He will activate all 3 of his. Movement. Oh, there it is.
Oh, 6 and a 1.
6 and a 1. Alright, so he will stay with the stack. Ricketts will go 1, 2. Everybody else will just go 1. You know, breaking down those command tents. That's a big job. Alright, and finally Warren. Wow, Warren can activate everybody in range. Leave the horse artillery and Kitching behind, but everybody else will come along. And here's movement +1. 4. Crawford will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Robinson 1, 2, 3, 4. Warren 1, 2, 3, 4. Artillery reserve 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, is that too many? Nope, they can't go there. And then Wadsworth will just go 1, 2, 3, and 4 to there. Okay, I believe that is all 6 of mine. So now it is time for our regular initiative roll. Union left, Confederate right as per usual. It's mine again. I feel like Sheridan needs to take an opportunity here. So we're going to go activate both J.I. Gregg and Davies. Here's their movement +2. It is 7. So he is a cavalry leader, so he can attack whenever he wants. So we'll have DM Gregg go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Sheridan will go there and make a normal attack on the 1st North Carolina. Our first blood of the day, I hope. So let me start up a fresh sheet of paper for our cavalry attack here. We've got just a +2 for tactical, a +3 for 4-to-1 ratio. And I've got a -1 for that creek. And I've got all hexes surrounded, but all of them will come off, right? And with cavalry,
Final flank bonus of +1 is ignored. No bonuses.
so I see for a final 5 up and 1 down for a +4 attack. Is that what you see?
Yes, +4.
Okay. So here's the first attack, and as we know, the first attack sets the tone for the entirety of the movie. Here's the attack roll. Okay,
Ooh.
so it is a 9.
Oh.
The first defense roll sets the tone for the entire movie. Right.
So let's see. So you're 9 and a 6. So it's a final of a +3.
3. I have a +3, so I will fatigue out.
Yeah, so he picks up 3 fatigues. And he goes.
Just a small retreat.
Okay, restricted Zocs all apply. So I'm going to be on 4. Retreats into an enemy Zoc, but any Macabite hex. Is a hex more distance. So yeah, if I go by road this way, that's going to be 1. I've got 1 more to go. Then I can go further away, not by road, but not in your Zoc, because that's you don't have a
Right.
board. That's 1, 2. I could go 2 more hexes. Probably not a terrible idea. 3. And then I can go wherever I want to for 4.
Wascally Wabbits. I think Sheridan's going to stay put. We've cleared out the path, so that was the primary reason for that. Okay, next initiative. It's mine again. All right, get some folks across the river here. So we're going to activate the second corps once again. Here is their movement +1. It's 3. It's a little early for force marching, but if I don't take the opportunity, I just know I'm going to get eaten up by the extended marches. So yeah, we're going to force march. I'll take it one at a time just to see. If it goes really horribly, then I'll just like, no. Alright, so Barlow's going to flip. Here is his extended march roll. So let me put my... I got a 3 manpower right now. Okay, so his force march roll -1 is a 2 minimum, and he loses 1 manpower. So we'll take manpower loss, and he gets 5 total. So he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Next we'll have Mott. He will flip. Extended march roll. So he gets 4 more and loses manpower. So he's got 7 total. He will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 to there. I'll have Gibbon go next. Flip. Force march roll. Okay. Gets minimum of 2, but with no manpower loss. So he's got 5. He will go 1, 2, 3 to there with 2 remaining. Oh, the
First North Carolina will retreat.
It's a fair fight.
Except
18 to 1. Come on.
Here's his retreat roll. 6.
So he had a -4 because he was super small.
Yes.
Okay, so I lose 1.
Yeah, you lose 1, but he can retreat 4 to 6 hexes. And go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to there.
And with my remaining 1, I will take him there. And then Bernie will also force march. Flip. Here's his roll. He also gets 4 more, but loses a manpower. So he's got 7 total. Okay. Stay with the pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 to there. Initiative. Wow, mine again. Jeez. Alright, we'll have Sedgwick activate 6 core again. Here's their movements. +1. I just not loathe the move. So they'll go 1, 2, and 3. And 1, 2, and 3. The others will just follow behind. 1, 2. Initiative. It's now. Ooh! That's Taiwan. That's a possible end of the turn. So this is our first. So we have a random possible end of the action cycle. We've rolled double ones on initiative. The Union has the first option. They can attempt to use their command leadership, if they choose to try to extend the action cycle. If they choose not to or they fail, then Roger, as the Confederates, will have Lee's command ability to attempt to extend it or let it go. If both of those do not happen, then the action cycle just ended and turn 1 is just over. I'm going to try to keep it going. And I have to, let's see, Grant is a command of 5. So I must roll a 3 or less to continue. 2 or less. So 50-50 shot on this. So here's the roll. Grant says, keep going. And it fails. So Roger, would you like to keep turn 1 going?
Oh, wow. Okay, so I would have to do, so now we're on step 2. Lee's 6, so he'd have to get 1, 2, 3, or 4. Boy, I don't see any advantage to me. I think I'm happy for the turn to end. The sooner this game goes, the better for me.
That's true.
From a game perspective, it seems kind of. I mean, you have a nice advantage, but it's just going to. Yeah, I'm happy to stop here.
All right. So turn 1 ends prematurely. It's nice that we got that on the very first turn to show. So I'm going to hit the recover button and pull up the sequence here. We do not have a strategic cycle for this one, so that's not a problem. We move the turn indicator.
Yeah, turn indicator, yeah.
So I didn't get any of my reinforcements on board, so he's going to come into this stack here. So turn 2. The one thing we did not do is my free minor river bridges. So let me do that during the recovery here. In my HQ, I've got a few minor bridges and 1 major bridge. So those are counter limited for this game. So I'm going to put my 2 freebies. Let's see, I'm going to put 1 here next to Wilson. And I'm going to put 1 here next to Gibbon. So there you go. That rule is now complete. Those are free. As far as my stuff on reinforcements, those will still get to come in per. But Stevenson, since he did not come in on turn 1, he can come in at fatigue level 0 now. So I'll put him at the top of the stack since he's next up in capability. Okay, so turn 2. That was breezy. It went faster.
Given our ability to roll double ones, we might have a lot of end of
absolutely. Yeah, some hard choices will be made. Okay, so I'm going to open up the sequence here just to make sure we've got everything just so. Random events! Hey, it's our first random event. Why don't you, sir, take the random event?
Okay, here we go. Random event. 3. Oh, wow, rain. Current +1?
Well, poope. Apparently our ability to roll 2-1 is also quite strong, but better than the snake eyes. So let's let me put a marker. So we got. I am so happy I've got those bridges now, and everyone's going to be on turnpikes for the moment, I hope. Okay, well that certainly changes things now, doesn't it? Next we have our sequence of play. Leader transfers. Well, I'm going to move Grant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's going to move down to Hancock. He's going to see what all this slow pokery is up front. Otherwise, I'm going to keep everybody where they are, I think. Yep. Yep. Any for you?
I'll keep everybody where they are, I think. Yeah, everybody will stay where they are.
I mean, there is a blessing somewhat to that because I know that's going to keep Lee and or the second and third corps kind of out of the wilderness for a moment because it's going to be difficult for them to get down there. So, okay. Next, we have no off map yet. County control. I don't control any counties yet. No attachments. And so it's time for the action cycle. So since you did the random events, I will roll our first initiative, and it is yours.
Okay. And this might be a good place to use the strategic movement.
Yes, you control Orange County. So you have the capability of doing that.
Which is, I read that there's no die roll. I just activate as normal. So AP Hill is going to activate Heath and Anderson. They're going to do strategic movement. I'm actually going to hit 2 fatigues, which means as Confederates, they can go 14 hexes without having to roll a die.
Yeah, since you're only going to fatigue 2. Yep.
We'll move Lee and Hill will transfer to Anderson. We'll move first. So this will be 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 and a half. And they're still 8 hexes away from, and Custer is not a, and because of the rain.
Yeah, Torbert's not a factor because those.
Torbert's not a factor.
Right, right.
Which is why I was looking at it.
Yep.
So Heath is going to go 1, 2, 5, 8, 11.
Don't forget your entrenchments.
Oh, they can, in the rain, they can carry their entrenchments.
Of course. Portable hole. Right.
Right. It's wet. The earth is very easy to dig. As you said, they're going to have a hard time getting there. Initiative. Yours.
And I believe I'm going to take the opportunity to do an activate army leader here, which you only get to do once every other turn. So I'm going to make an attempt to use Grant and the army leader activation. So I call it an attempt because there's no guarantee. I have to roll, and I don't have night march capability here, so I don't get any modifiers to help me. But I need a 3 or less to make the attempt. If it fails, then that's just the end of my initiative, and then it's back to the next initiative roll. But if it does, then I can carry on. So Grant makes the attempt. I need a 3 or less. I get it. So now I can activate up to 10 units within his normal command radius of 3. So that can get Gibbon, that can get Wilson and his units. I'm going to roll the die and get the modifiers normally. I think it's +1, right? And then I will double that for the cavalry units, and then they all get to move. So, but because I succeeded, Roger will automatically get the initiative for the next one. I can't enter any Zocs, which is fine. No burning, no entrenching, no attacking on the march. Okay, so let me activate. So I'm going to do all this. We're going to get 1. There we go. Here is their movement of +1 from Hancock. It's 3. And that's going to be 6 for the cavalry. Okay. Well, that's terrible. In this rain and mud. Alright, so cavalry is going to go 2, 4, 5.5. Sheridan go 1.5, 3, 6 to there. Wilsons stack, they'll go 3, 6. Bernie will go... no. Let's have these guys move down the road a little bit. So it's 3 total. So they're going to go there. Bernie's going to go there. Mott's going to join him there. Gibbon is going to go just 1 hex overland to there. That is everybody. So you get the next initiative automatically.
Oh, okay. You'll take Early and E. Johnson. I have a sheet of paper here with notes of things to remember and think about. I can do detachments.
Yes.
So I believe I'll activate roads and I'll drop off a detachment there.
And while you're doing that, I owe you an extended march for Sheridan and Davies. So let me do that here real quick. He's okay. All right.
So I'm just going to give him a strength of 3. No artillery. So Rhodes has got to lose 3 manpower. They'll keep all his artillery. He's going to lose his entrenchments. Sub 1's going to gain his entrenchments. He does not pick up a fatigue. Now we'll roll for movement. That's going to be a 6. Yule will stay where he is with Early, and they'll go first. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Johnson will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rhodes will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Initiative, yours.
I will have Sedgwick activate the 6th Corps. Here's the movement, +1. Slows. Ricketts is on the pike already, so he will go just 3. Right, go 2. That's a bummer. I better have Sedgwick go to right, and then Getty will just go 1 to there. Okay, initiative. Mine again. Let's take them again. Here's movement +1, 5. So we have 3, 4.5, 3, 4.5, and 2, and 5. Initiative. Mine again. I'm going to have Greg go to JI Greg and DM Greg. We're just going to do a single hex move to there. That's it. Initiative, yours.
We'll have Yule activate Rhodes, Early, and Johnson, not Ramseur. I just realized Ramseur is within range. Increase fatigue. Here's their movement. It goes 7 hexes. You'll stay with Early. E. Johnson will go 2, 4, 6 to there. Early will go 2, 4.
There you go.
2, 4, 6. Initiative. Mine again. Wilcox will activate by himself. Lose his entrenchments. 1 die +1. Ooh, 7. 2, 4, 7. Initiative. Mine again. Stewart, activate Rosser. He'll lose his entrenchments. Stewart's a +3, so they can go 9. 2, 4, 6, 8. Initiative, yours.
This rain really just came a little too early. Alright, so I'm going to activate the first cavalry here. And here is their movement +1. Torbert and his crew will go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Devin will go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Initiative. Yours.
Take Stewart to fatigue 2. Rosser. Rosser will go to fatigue 2. Sorry. Go 4, 7, 24. I want to get him 2, but you're moving away from those forwards now. 2, 4. Initiative. Yours.
First core to 2. Here's their movement. +1. 9. I think at that last one, because of my brain and mathematics, I gave myself 12. It was actually 11, so these guys should actually be right there. So, those of you furiously typing that Patrick cannot do simple arithmetic, correct.
It's hard to do that sometimes.
Because in your mind's eye, you're like, I just wanted to be nice and even. Yeah. Okay, so now I have 9 total. So if I do the math correctly, that is 4 hexes that I can move along roads. So I will go 2, 4, 6, 8 to there. Initiative. Oh,
possible in the turn.
I do not wish to continue. So would you like to make the attempt to continue?
Oh, interesting.
I have very good weather reports that say it's going to rain tomorrow, so make camp, boys.
I think, okay, I've got, boy, that would be, but is that going to hurt me any? I'm going to try to continue, I believe. I've got a couple things I'd like to get done this turn. So I have to get 1 to 4. Yep, okay, so let's try to continue. And we do. Okay, it's my initiative. Yeah, I wanted to get a couple things done. Field is going to do an activation. He's going to do strategic movement by himself. He's going to pick up 2 fatigues, and he can go 14 hexes. He's going to go 3, 6, 9. So he's going to go to Orange Courthouse.
Okay, perfect.
Initiative. Yours.
I'm going to have Warren activate everybody in range. Here's their movement +1. It's 4. So we go 2 hexes along the roads. Robinson will go 2, 4. Artillery reserve follows behind. Crawford 2, 4. Warren 2, 4. And presuming that the artillery reserve is going first, marching ahead, they can both go to there. Initiative. Mine again. We'll do that again. Here's movement +1. 5 this time. So that doesn't really help me much, but go 2, 4, 2, 4, there, 2, 4, 2, 4. Okay, initiative. Mine again. I'm going to pass.
Okay. We'll have Kershaw use strategic movement. He's going to pick up 3 fatigues. Now, if I'm reading this correctly, he does not roll for extended march.
Because he's going to 3, correct.
Because he's going, unit reaching fatigue level 3 does not consult the extended march table.
Right. If he was exhausted, he would, yeah.
Yeah, so he can go 21 hexes. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, now he's going to go up the pike. 11, 14. I got to do math. 17.
There you go.
20.
All right.
And he has to stop there.
Right.
Initiative. That's yours.
I'm going to pass.
I'll take Wilcox to fatigue 2. Activated by Hill, so it's a +2. he can go 5 hexes, which basically means he could go 1 hex to there.
I think he has enough to get in with Heath, because that would
Does
be
he?
3 plus 2 would be 5. Or he can get to Mount Pisgah.
Oh, it's a +2. Okay, yeah, okay. I was 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. I was doing 3 and then another 3. Get to 6. It was 3. Yeah, the 3 to get there, and then the 2 for the 16. So yeah, okay. Initiative. Mine again. I don't see any reason to push my guys anymore in the rain. So I'm just going to pass.
And I will pass as well. And we'll end turn 2. A rainy day, so no entrenching on this one. Hitting the rain recovery. Everything looks good. Let's move our time marker. And, oops, not that. I still haven't brought anybody in, so Burnside is cooling his heels somewhere up north of town. But that's fine, because I can now bring everybody in without any penalty. Let's see if there was anything else that we had prescribed on recovery. We did not. We moved the turn indicator, so we're on turn 3. I think we'll probably get up to completing turn 3. That'll give us the opportunity to do the strategic cycle as the first real turn of our next, and I think that's perfect, because then you and I can read up on it and go through all that stuff. So let us make sure we're on turn 3. We are. So you did the last random event, so let's see what's in store for me this time. Random event. It's a 7.
I think Confederate paralysis, maybe?
No, it's my Union Night March. Ooh. So that means I'm afforded a little bit of a modifier if I try to do an army activation, but guess what? I used it last turn, so I don't get to use it this turn. So, no harm, no foul. But I'm still under rain this turn. So, leader, let me see. Is there anything else on sequence? Random events, leader transfers, leader transfers. So, I'm not going to be doing an army activation this time, so there's no need to move Grant. And everybody else is where I want them to be. Sheridan is here with DM Greg, so that's fine. So, I do not have any leader transfers. Do you?
I do not. I completely forgot about Fitzlee over there in Fredericksburg. Okay, well, that's good.
Well, he's given the first North Carolina a place to rally to, apparently. That guy, he gets away every time, Gadget. Okay.
Okay.
Well, then,
I don't have any leader transfers.
fantastic. Then let's do, why don't you give us our first initiative?
Okay. It's mine. We'll have AP Hill. We'll activate Anderson and Wilcox and Heath. Yeah, all 3. Here's the die roll. 1 die +2. So it's 4 in the rain. So they can basically go 3 hexes down a turnpike. Or 2 hexes
2
down a
X's,
turnpike.
yeah.
1, 2, 3. And we'll split them up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Initiative. Mine again. You'll activate early in roads. There's their movement. Or again, they can go 2 road hexes. Peg hexes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Initiative. Yours.
The race is now on. Need to get there. You gotta get there from here. We'll do Wilson activating the 3rd Cavalry first. Here is their movement, +1. Nice. 13. So they'll move together as a unit. We'll go 3, 4.5, 6.5, 8.5, 10.5. Initiative. Yours.
AP Hill will activate his 3 divisions. Here's their movement. It goes 6 hexes. Hill and Lee will stay with Anderson. 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6. Initiative, yours.
Okay, now I'll have Hancock activate everybody except Gibbon. Here's the movement of +1. 5. Barlow, Hancock, Grant go 3, 4.5. Mott will go 3, 4.5. Bernie will go 2 and 4 to there. Initiative. Mine again. Let's do Gibbon. Gibbon next. Movement straight up. 4. So he can go 3 to there. Initiative. Yours.
You will activate Early and Rhodes and E. Johnson. Here's their movement. 5. E. Johnston will go first. He's just going to do a min move to there. Hill will go 1, 2, 3 to there. What would Sheridan like to do?
We'll stand.
Just be 1, 2, 3 to there. He would not have enough to get into that next hex because he only has 2 remaining. And it would be 1.5 plus another 1.5. That'd be 3. Initiative, yours.
So many considerations here. I think probably I need to activate the 6th Corps. See if we can get them moving a little bit. So here is their march of +1. That is a great march. We'll transfer Sedgwick to Ricketts because it's Ricketts. He's going to go 3 to there, 5, 7 to there. Wright will go 3, 6. Getty will go 3 and 6 to there. Initiative. Mine again. Have Gibbon march. Here's his movement straight up. 5. Here we go. 3, 4.5. Initiative. Yours.
Longstreet will activate Kershaw and Field. Here's their movement. 5. Longstreet will transfer to Field. We'll go 2, 4 to there. Kershaw will go 1, 2, 3, 4.5 to there. Initiative, mine. Fitzley will take Lomax and Wickham to Teague 1. They'll use their entrenchments. Okay, here's their movement. 7, I think Lee gives it a +2, so it's 9.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll go 2 to there, 5 to there, and then 3 to get to the sunken road.
Yep.
So that'd be 8.
Mm-hmm.
Initiative, yours.
Well, I guess we have to take the 2nd Corps. This is their big moment. So they're all going to go up. Gibbon will have an extended march. So here's their movement +2, +1. Ooh, there we go. Let me think about this one. I'm going to have Bernie go first. He's going to force march. So he will flip.
Horse marching in the rain.
Yes. So, Mud March. So we got 7 off the top. Here is his force march roll. So he gets an additional 2, but loses a manpower. So he can go 1 extra hex. So he's got 9 total. Go 2, 4, 6, 8 to there. Barlow will go next. He will also force march. So here is his force march. An additional 2 also, so 9. So he loses manpower. Alright. All the roads backtrack at the wrong place.
Yep.
Let's try to optimize this. So 3 to there, 4.5, 6.5, 8.5. Mott will go next. He will not force march. He's going to go 2, 4, 6 to there. And then Gibbons got an extend march +1 and a flip. So that option is off the table anyway. And they will go 3, 6 to there. That is all. Initiative. Yours.
F. Lee will take his 2 brigades to fatigue 2. Here's their movement. Wow.
Mud indeed.
1, 2, 3. 4.5. Initiative. Fine again. Johnson way down at Beaver Dam Station. Take him to fatigue 1. He loses his entrenchments. Here's his movement. 1 die +1. He could go 7 hexes. 2, 4, 6. Initiative. Yours.
Sedgwick will activate the 6th Corps. Here's their movement +1. Oh. Yeah, buddy. Alright, so Sedgwick will go there. Wright will go there. And Getty will go there. Initiative. Yours.
I'll take you, Johnson, to fatigue 2. Here's his movement. Just going to go to the depot. Initiative. Yours.
I'll have Sheridan activate Gregg and Davies. Here is their movement +2. 7. So that is going to be 4 to there because leaving the Zoc. And 7 to there. Left Sheridan behind. Initiative. Yours.
I zoomed out to see what I'm missing. I'm zooming out to see what guys I'm missing. Okay, I've got these guys down in Richmond that have uncovered. I'm sure there's something I should be doing with them in terms of the off-map segment that's coming up, but I don't know what that would be. So I think should I move them, put them on a railroad, move them by rail? That makes sense.
At least you have that luxury.
Yeah, that's one of those things. It's like, okay, that's probably something really, if you know how to use it, probably really cool. I'm going to pass. I'll just have to read up on this stuff. Now that we're into the game, I can start thinking about this a little bit more. Okay. I'm going to pass.
All right. I'm going to bring Stevenson on. Stevenson will just come on here, 2201. Initiative. Mine again. Let's see. Next is bunches of people. There we go. So Wilcox A. He will come on board. Initiative. Yours.
I'll,
Okay.
I'll pass.
All right. I will bring these guys. Burnside, Potter, and Provisional on. Same hex. Initiative. Yours. Presume pass.
Pass. Yeah, I'll pass.
And then we'll just bring the remainder of the stack on there. There we go. Initiative. Yours.
Pass.
All right. Let's see. Does it make any sense to move them in the rain? All right. Let's go back down to the 5th core here. We're going to activate everybody. And we'll do a movement +1. 5. Warren will transfer down to Crawford. And they'll go 2-4. Robinson 2-4. Artillery Reserve 2-4. Griffin 2-4. And Wadsworth 2-4. Initiative. Mine. Let's activate everybody except for who's with Warren. They will march plus. Well, that figures. See, I don't know why I try plans, Roger. I don't know. They'll go there, and I'll go there. All right, initiative. Mine. I'll have Sheridan activate them again to 2. We'll have an extended march for Davies. Here's their movement +2. It's 11 total. He's going to stay with J.I. Greg, and DM Greg will go with Davies, so they'll go first. We'll do their extended march. They're okay. So they go 3, 6, 9, 10.5, and then Sheridan just follows to there. Initiative. Yours.
I'll pass.
I'll have Torbert march. 1st Corps. Here's their movement +1. 8. Go 2, 4, 6, and 8 to there. Initiative. Mine. Take them to 2. Movement.
Oh, that's your movement.
That's my movement. Boo! There. Initiative. Mine. Do you mind if I put them at Ross's Mill instead?
No, go ahead.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking.
Yeah.
I would have said something if I had been. I really wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't either, because I'm like, oh, surely, it's easy. All right. So
but not if you want to move them forward one. That's
that's fine. Okay. All right. Initiative. Yours if you wish.
Pass still.
Move 3rd New Jersey. Movement 6, 2, 4, 6. I'm just going to presume pass, and I'll just move all these cavalry if you're good with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to go there at level 2. It's 22nd New York gets 11. So he's going to go 2, 4, 6, 11. 3rd PA. 3. 1. And we'll take 4. So 2, 4. And the Ohio boys. Movement 10. Okay. So 2, 4, 6, 9 to there. Rolling for initiative. It's yours if you wish.
I'll pass.
I'm going to pass as well. We're right at the 2-hour mark, so I think this is a great time. So I'm going to pass. Moved everybody, so we're going to recover in the rain. There we go. Okay, so no entrenchments have been built. Everybody's recovered. We're going to be moving on to our turn 4 uh, strategic phases in this one, so that's great. Yeah, but yeah, I think we've gotten 3 really good movement turns down, except for sloppy rain. Other than that, make sure that's good. That's good. Let's see if there's anything else we need to account for. Recovery's done. We are not in that, so yeah, we're good to stop here. So, what say you on the day?
This was an interesting. You've got a good position even in the rain. I didn't feel like pushing hard in the rain to try to cut you off because you're doing to me what you did the last time, which is you're bringing Warren down and threatening Orange Courthouse. And I remember that didn't turn out very well for me. So I'm not real sure how I'm going to play out the next 4 turns. Not having that, it's going to end in 2 days or 3 days. It's not going to end for another 37 days. Really changes your mindset, I think, for me anyway. That's my thoughts. It's got to keep raining.
Yeah. For me, I try to organize my thoughts into short-term goals, long-term goals. Obviously, dangling right in front of me is Spotsylvania Courthouse. That is the first domino that needs to fall. I need to get there. I need some county control so I can get a little bit of county control points. I don't even know that that one's even worth anything. Let's look at the VP. Yeah, it's not even
Oh,
worth anything, but it is for county control, which means I could do strategic movement through Spotsylvania Courthouse.
ah,
So
yeah.
that is, I need to start meeting your marching ability on that. So yeah, even though the county may not be on paper worth any victory points, logistically it's very important because I need
Mm.
to be able to get around that 8 hex difference movement area. So the rain was a blessing and a curse this time because it slowed you down a little bit, but you did some very effective use of your own strategic movement since that is your capability to get within range. So my main goal getting through the wilderness was to do it as quickly as possible, get to Grandma's house, get those goodies. But I did not want to recreate the Battle of the Wilderness in this game, if at all possible. Now, Cedric is still back there. He's kind of a rear guard. So he's got to maintain a line there so that those bridges are somewhat protected so that I can do whatever I'm going to do with the Ninth Corps. Having the ability to march faster would have been nice to get the Second Corps a little bit farther along, but being able to use the Germana Plank Road, that was helpful. But yeah, rounding that corner, exactly what Grant was facing was like, I can't get entangled in the brambles and undergrowth of the wilderness. I have to get around that corner and try to get some miles towards Spotsylvania Courthouse. So that was my priority there. Warren, I'm building up that force because we know that we have to check how far. I think the river is still going to be swollen here for another day. I have to check that one. But so far, I'm pleased. I had 2 obstacles. We had the early end of turn 1, which was not a huge deal, but it would have been nice to get a couple more things moving. But the rain +1, that certainly had a significant effect on my ability to move and make some decisions about who's coming on board and when and all that good stuff. So, yeah, see, we've already changed history, Roger. It rained.
While we were playing, I was looking up what I have to do to destroy a pontoon bridge, and I was hoping, well, maybe that little guy could do something. The first North Carolina, but no, he's got to be a 5-man power strength.
Right.
So he's just sitting there, thankful that nobody came over and smacked him.
I wanted to, but he was just such a detour away that it wasn't
Yeah,
worth.
yeah,
I mean, the 3 victory points is nice, but that's marching in the
yeah,
rain to get over there was not worth it.
yeah. For 120 point total, down to 3 point, trying to take out a cav unit this early is not worth chasing. Which is kind of what I was thinking too. It's okay if he's tucked in that corner.
Yeah, he's just gonna wriggle away anyway. I mean, if I can't kill him with a massive attack by Sheridan on the first day, he's just living under a charmed star, as we would say. We will end it here today. So session 1 is in the books now. We hope you've enjoyed this. And please do take a moment to leave your comments down there in the YouTube section below. We love to read that. Our only admonition to you, of course, is please don't give suggestions about what we should do, but you are certainly welcome to comment on everything that you would have done differently in turns 1, 2, or 3, as long as it doesn't affect any of our strategic thinking going forward. And if we missed anything, of course, please point that out, and we will try to correct it in our corrections phase, unofficial corrections phase, next time. But I'm pleased. I'm pleased. Nothing has been catastrophic yet. If we get more rain, then we'll certainly have to adjust and pivot to that. A good game so far, Roger.
Definitely strategic. I'm just sitting here looking at the map, wondering, okay, is it time to pull away from the Rapidan?
That is my favorite part of this, is how married to history are we because of the circumstances that we're incurring ourselves. How long do you hold those 3 nice forts there along the Rapidan? Does that give me an opportunity to react to that? Are you reacting to my reaction to my reaction? I don't know. But more will be uncovered next time in Session 2 of Grant Takes Command, the campaign game. So please take a moment to click that like and subscribe, as we ask you all the time. That helps the algorithm calculate that there's some visibility on this particular series that we're doing, and we're hoping that as it goes on, that more and more people will be enjoying it as you are, we hope. So once you do any of those 3 things, that will tell YouTube to bump it up a notch, I guess. And I'm also showing you our current monetary supporters. We've got a couple in the last few weeks. We're creeping up on 2,000 subscribers as of the time of this publication, so it seems like it's picking up speed, which I'm elated to see. I don't know what happens if there's a little party or something when we hit 2,000 subscribers, but it's a nice little arbitrary milestone for us nonetheless. And more than anything, thank you so much for all your support. We really appreciate it, and we hope to hear from you soon. Roger, have a great week, man. And
You too.
until the strategic cycle.
Talk to you next week. Bye, everybody.